What's happening, guys? Cap over here, and welcome to our Week 7 battle in the SBN as we're getting our double dose of rain over here. Coach of the Zellwood Zoruas. We're facing Jordan, still undefeated, still a lot of pressure, and like always, someone's always chasing our backs and wants first place. But before we get into this battle, cue in that intro. Alright, so Jordan's bringing in quite the different team, but of course we did prep for Tornadus and Mew. And Swampert, of course, as you can tell, Swampert is already Mega Evolved. I was like, it's not a big deal. Let's not restart this. I was in a rush, he was in a rush, and we're just like, you know what? It doesn't make a big difference. It's totally fine. So we just kept it as it is. Some cool things that he's bringing: Barrel, Almstar, and his Regigigas. So I wasn't really sure what Regigigas wanted to do, and I was pretty scared of it. So naturally, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. So I'm bringing in once again the Ditto, my Salt Vest Ditto to check Tornadus. If it's not choice back like last time, then we should be in a good situation. And if it doesn't have knockoff, then that's even more awesomer. I'm bringing in my Choice Scarf Cryogentle, which is becoming quite the all-star. And I'm expecting big things from this Cryogentle once more in this week, because he does have Swampert, Tornadus, Barrel, and Almstar, so that's a potential, like, I could potentially rack up some kills over there. We're bringing in defensive Cafagers with Toxic Spike, Haze, Hex, and Pain Split. Pretty much the same thing as last time. We're bringing in the Rotom with the Colbur Berry, and pretty much it's just here to spread statuses, do some work, and make life a bit tough for the other person. And then we've got our AV Florges. I saw the matchup and I was like, you know what? I want Florges to check everything that is especially defensive, so I figured, you know what, let's just slap an Assault Vest, see how it works out, make it fully offensive. Well, it's an interesting set. I don't think it's good, but I think it can put in some work. And then I'm bringing Zoroark too, and of course you guys are thinking about, like, you know, Ditto and Zoroark together on a team. That seems a bit odd. Yeah, it's a bit odd. This Zoroark does have Arcanium though, and that's because not a lot of things on his team does appreciate it. If Mew comes in, Tornadus, Swampert, Barrel, Almstar, Regigigas, they're pretty much to a KO by this thing. So, and Tornadus too. Tornadus goes down to like 81 to 90% plus the Sucker Punch, so I could potentially pick up the KO, and we're looking pretty spiffy over there. So over here, I just figured, you know what, let's lead off with my Rotom. Rotom seems like a good possibility for that. If he leads with Mew, then that's totally fine. If he leads with Regigigas, I can burn it. Swampert, burn it. I can do a lot of things. So Rotom was my best play over here, as he ends up starting up with his real slow. We don't want to trio real slow. He ends up starting up with Regigigas. I wasn't sure what this thing wants to do. I unfortunately missed my Will-O-Wisp, which means this knockoff is going to be doing a lot more, but I do have the Colbur Berry, so we're not looking that bad over here. He ends up setting up the Rain, which is a rather interesting Regigigas. I wasn't sure what he was going to do with that. And he goes for Gravity too, so he's over here doing his thing, and I'm like, what? What's going on over here? This Mew has Toxic, so it's a bit stally, but like our first battle, I was like, you know what, Mew needs to go down, so if we can get this thing going down, that's awesome. Unfortunately, he does get the flinch. All in all, it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal for me. So I sent out my Raffle Coffin over here, later to be revealed, Zoroark over here, and we end up getting the KO on Mew. And the reason why I went for Black Hole Eclipse, this is my first time using a Z move too, so it was pretty cool to see that graphic over there. The reason why I ended up going for Black Hole Eclipse was because anything that came in onto that move would pretty much be dead, plus I wanted Mew to be gone, so with Mew being gone, that allows everything else to do a lot more work. Cryogentle has the potential to sweep. It's still on the table, and I really want it to happen because that's sort of become its thing. I guess it's just been its thing. So I'm just going to switch out Raffle Coffin over here. I want to see what sort of set this Tornadus is. It's Dark Pulse, 22%, so that's telling me it's not Choice Spec, which is fantastic. And I also scouted out what sort of set he had. So he had like Hidden Power, Hurricane, Dark Pulse, and Sleep Talk. I don't know why Sleep Talk was there. I wasn't sure. I figured, you know what, maybe he was thinking about Sleep Powder or Venusaur. That could be it. And yeah, so I ended up going for the Dark Pulse over here. I was pretty close to bringing that actually. So I ended up going for the Dark Pulse, not real enough to go for Hurricane. Doesn't do a lot, and I don't want my Assault Vest to be knocked off because Ditto is really good right now against Tornadus with the regen and the Hurricane and all that. Oh, I just want to keep it. I want to keep it for that. So I'm going to just send out Rafflecough, and no problem for my lefties to get left over, knocked off. And he ends up getting the Mummy ability, which means he's not slow start anymore, which means he's going to be doing a lot of damage, but he's burnt. Rafflecoffin's fully defensive, and I can just get up my 2 layers of spikes over here, which means nothing on his team will be, like, it won't be like it won't be allowed him to sweep, because Toxic Spike's his thing, and Cryogenital can finish it up, or anything above that. So I can just go right into Ditto once more, and Ditto can actually just eat this hit up. As you can tell, Ditto is doing a phenomenal job. I get confused, hit my own Hurricane, do 43%. That does tell me that this thing is AV. I do believe that's what it tells me. So at this point, I can just go right into my Florius, just go for Hidden Power or go for Moonblast, and this thing doesn't really do a lot to it. With Slow Start, I can outspeed it, heal up my own Pokemon. And I was debating on staying here, but I decided, you know what, let's see what he wants to do. Let's waste some rain. I can just go for a switch over here and get my Regenerator up. And he ends up going for the Dark Pulse, which is rather interesting. I don't know why. But I do get the special attack drop with it, which is pretty huge because I could send out my Ditto and possibly recover. But I decide, you know what, let's stay aggressive over here. And shout out to him for doing this, because he made the more aggressive play. But at this point, I can actually send out Mr. Freeze. And this was a bit scary over here because I didn't know if he was going to attack me or not. The barrel was simple as too scary, so a +4 Ditto or Bibarel is attacking this Rafflecoff, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just let Poison do its thing. I can simply stall this thing out. Poison is going to do enough damage to the point where I could potentially pick up KO. I end up going for a Hex over here because if he switches into Tornadoes, then I can get some free damage on it. Ditto comes in for free once more. If he lands his Hurricane, then he KOs Ditto. Good for him. I was willing to take that chance, but I also saw this opportunity that Mr. Freeze can actually sweep at this point, and this Snowflake does not give up. Like, oh my gosh. Choice Scarf, Mr. Freeze is coming through right now. Almasar actually lives this, and I was a bit surprised about this. He gets a crit, and I was like, oh no, Mr. Freeze, don't go down. But what do you know, Mr. Freeze comes through once more, back again. That is Mr. Freeze giving the cold shoulder to Jordan. Good game to Jordan once more, but that allows us to pick up our 3rd division or in-conference win, which means we have the upper hand when it comes to that. So that's always really awesome to note, because in case, you know, of differentials and whatnot, we still want to make sure we come out on top. That'll let us continue our win streak of +7, and we have like a differential of +24 or something. We're looking pretty good, and I was looking at our schedule too. We've got a I don't want to say it's going to be a really easy schedule, but we are facing the Chicago Carracostas again, to Jacksonville Jolteons, and the Chesapeake Castform, or the Castforms. I know we're facing those teams. 2 of those teams are on the bottom of the table, and then the Carracostas are right behind us. So that's going to be a big game for us. But right now, we just got to keep at it. Keep on doing what we're doing right now, because there's a good sense of energy around this team, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in this. What we can just do all together. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys enjoy Mr. Freeze once more. Mr. Freeze, the unsung hero of this Toronto SwaBlu Jays team, and I think Mr. Freeze is actually the kill leader on our team. So I don't know how that happens. Just a well played Cryogenital, I guess. Well played. So if you stuck around for that long, thank you so much. But anywho, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a shorter battle, but it is what it is. And thank you so much for watching. So this is Cap going away. I thought I was gonna say sign off, but bye.